Deadly plane crash has been reported at the Nepal airport. Saurya Airlines plane that was flying from Kathmandu to Pokhara has crashed right on the runway. It skidded off the runway, and soon after that crash, the flight itself erupted in flames. This happened at the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu. The incident has occurred at around 11 a.m. as the aircraft was engulfed in flames shortly after takeoff. The plane, in fact, did not really quite take off. It skidded off the runway, and that's when it crashed. And moments later, there was a blaze that erupted. In fact, firefighters are currently on the spot as they attempt to extinguish the blaze. Initial reports do indicate that there were 19 passengers on board, including the flight crew. The injured currently taken to the hospital from Tribhuvan International Airport. Authorities are currently investigating the cause of the crash, working to ensure safety of those involved. Tragic episode that's come to light from Nepal as we're looking at the Saurya Airlines aircraft. 19 on board. The flight that was just about to take off in Kathmandu skidded off the runway, and soon after it lost its balance, it crashed and erupted in flames. Could this be a fault of the pilot? What really led to the crash? Investigation is underway. We're looking at firefighters, rescue teams who are right there at the spot trying to see if they could salvage the situation, rescue any one of those 19 people who are on board. There's still no clarity of the number of fatalities as yet. This is a developing story as we're bringing to you live images coming in from the Kathmandu airport. The Saurya Airlines aircraft that was just about to take off. 11 a.m. was roughly the time when the plane was just taking off. It lost balance and veered off, crashed, and it appears soon after the crash, the plane caught fire. And by the time the rescue teams arrived, we hear that 19 people, they're trying to recover and rescue, but seems unlikely. 19 people on board, all could have succumbed, but there's no official statement yet. What we see here, initial reports suggest that 19 on board, no clarity whether any one of them have survived. In fact, all right, Rohit Singh, our correspondent, joining us on the phone line for a little more on that. Rohit, take us through exactly what has happened. More often than not, we hear of plane crashes in Nepal. This is one more with 19 on board. Any possibility of any one of them to be alive or be rescued there?
Well, that is a big question, Nabila, whether the 19 passengers, including the crew that were on board, whether they are safe or not, or whether some casualty has taken place. But let me tell you, in a series of aircraft incidents that happened in Nepal, yet a latest incident that has happened today at around 11 this morning at the Tribhuvan International Airport, when the small flight with 19 passengers, including the crew on board, it completely caught fire the moment it was taking off from Kathmandu for Pokhara. And 11 o'clock is when this incident happened, and just as it was taking off, it caught fire and completely exploded. And the visuals which we can show you on the television screen is that you can see that this entire small aircraft is engulfed in fire, and the Nepal police and the fire tenders and several people on spot are trying to douse the fire and ascertain whether all the 19 passengers on board, whether they are safe or not, or whether some casualty has happened. And what we know that this small plane belongs to the Saurya Airlines, which is a small airlines company in Kathmandu. And this flight was taking off from Kathmandu for Pokhara when this entire incident happened, just on the runway as the flight was trying to take off, when it caught fire and it literally exploded. And a rescue operation is going on at this moment as I speak at the Tribhuvan International Airport. And in the rescue operation, really the Nepal police and the fire tenders trying to rescue passengers who were trapped inside this small aircraft, but still no news coming whether there has been some casualty or whether not all of them are safe or not. That remains a big question. But the rescue operation at the international airport in Kathmandu is going on, Nabila, right now.
Thanks very much, Rohit, for joining us on that. Let me quickly get through our aviation expert for a little more clarity on what could have happened. Sanat Kaul, thanks for speaking to India Today. If you could give us your sense on what may have happened. The plane we hear skidded off the runway, immediately caught fire. Could this be the fault of the pilot? Are there any chances of survival?
Well, it's very difficult for me to say just now what happened, but it's surprising that it has happened in Kathmandu airport, because normally plane crashes take place inside, in the interior, Pokhara and other places where this flight is going to Pokhara. But this has taken place in Kathmandu itself. So obviously, I think it needs a much greater inquiry of why it went off the airstrip and then caught fire. As regards casualty and all, I don't know. That, of course, we will know once.
No, of course, we're waiting for an official statement. But from your expertise, would you believe that there could be what could have really been the issue there when instances of such nature happen? More often than not, this happens in Nepal. At least an average of one plane crash in the last 10 years is what has been reported. What usually are the reasons that result to a plane skidding off?
Okay. Yeah, no, skidding off is something which can happen, but it's very wrong, very unlikely that a plane in Kathmandu airport, which is a wide, nice, big airstrip, that it should skid off the airport unless the weather conditions were very bad. I don't know. But even otherwise also, it's very rare that planes goes off the main tarmac. So the crashes that you are talking about in Nepal happen in small places, small airstrips inside the interior of the Himalayan range, like Pokhara and other places. So but this happened in Kathmandu itself. So it's a little shocking. Kathmandu
when you say shocking, what are you referring to? You're saying the tarmac there has great grip. It's a well-established airport with great infrastructure. This shouldn't have happened?
Well-established airport. It is a big, wide valley. It is not a tabletop anything. So frankly, it is surprising that it skid off the airstrip and caught fire. So
right. Sanat, is it possible that the rains, this is the monsoon season, do you believe that the rains could have led to the plane skidding off? I know you can't really conclude with regards to this case, but in general, episodes like this, what do you see?
Well, it's not clear whether it was raining at that time. It was very heavy rain and all. Yes, that can be one factor, but we are not even aware that it was raining heavily at that time.
So, but you're saying it's possible if it was raining heavily?
I mean, anything is possible because of certain circumstances, but, one should know the circumstances. So it is a little surprising that the crash, that this plane skidded off the airstrip and caught fire in Kathmandu, not at any other small airport. That is my point.
Thanks very much, Sanat, for joining us. Well, we're looking at the Kathmandu airport, which is currently sealed after this plane crash. It skidded off the runway. Unfortunately, 19 people are on board. We're not too sure how many of them have survived. There's no update on that yet. In fact, rescue teams who are on ground, they're trying as much to salvage the situation if there could be a possibility of anyone surviving, but seems bleak. As we see, Ravi Dhami, a senior journalist from Kathmandu, Nepal, is joining us. Okay, we're going to try and patch his connection. We've lost his line. Rohit Singh, I'm going to come back to you. Rohit, give us more. We spoke to the aviation expert who just raises concerns with the fact that this plane skidded off a well-tarred Kathmandu airport. That it's shocking this wasn't at any other small airport, this was at a well-established Kathmandu airport.
Yes, it's a well-established airport in Kathmandu, and as the weather is concerned, the weather in Kathmandu or in Nepal, as we can say, is the monsoon season going on, and today also the temperature hovering around 27 degrees, very cloudy in Kathmandu today. So what led to the incident is really a big question. Was there any technical snag that had developed when this flight was going to take off, or whether it skidded on the on the runway. That remains to be seen because it's a point of investigation that will only reveal what is the reason that led to this accident taking place at the international airport in Kathmandu. But yes, more reasons emerging that what happened to the 19 passengers, because as I speak right now, Nabila, the rescue operation is going on at the international airport in Kathmandu. The fire tenders, the Nepal police, all on spot taking part in the rescue operation. And big question remains that whether all the 19 passengers, including the crew members who were inside the aircraft, are they safe, or has there been any casualty? Has there been any injury? That
we have right here, charred body is being recovered from the crash site. We're looking at one pilot who survived. One pilot who survived the crash. He's been taken to the hospital. Rescue workers search for more survivors. 2 crew members, 17 passengers who were on board, of which one pilot has survived. Information of just one pilot. His survival has now surfaced, but nothing more on the 17 passengers who were on board and one other staff member. All right, let me quickly cut across to the police PRO in Nepal who's spoken to India today. Let's listen in.
ये जो प्लेन दुर्घटना उसके बारे में कुछ जानकारी दे दीजिए. कितने लोग घायल हैं, कितने बजे ये एक्सीडेंट हुआ?
ये तकरीबन 1 घंटे पहले 11 बजे, तकरीबन नेपाल का 11 बजे का समय का है ये. इसमें 19 members, including 2 crew members, were on board, and of them 17 were passengers, and the pilot is okay. He is at the hospital now. Others, we are on the rescue process.
अच्छा, सभी लोग सुरक्षित हैं? 19 लोग जो थे?
एक हम सुरक्षित है, एक पायलट, और बाकी लोग का रेस्क्यू का बात हो रहा है.
रेस्क्यू चल रहा है. अब कौन सी प्लेन थी, कितने बजे, कैसे, कोई और जानकारी मिल पाई है सर?
ये सौर्या एयरलाइंस, ये डोमेस्टिक एयरलाइंस है.
अच्छा, तो सभी लोग को रेस्क्यू करके हॉस्पिटलाइज कर दिया गया है?
नहीं, कई डेड बॉडी है, हॉस्पिटल लाना है. एक पायलट ठीक है.
All right, so we're looking at the police PRO in Nepal who claims that one person has survived, and that seems to be the pilot. Hopefully more information will come in on what really could have happened. Rohit, who's still with us. Rohit, we're looking at, do we know the make of this plane? What make is it? Was it a passenger aircraft, and where was it heading to? Do give us more details on that.
First, let me give you a latest information that has come that it's not an official confirmation, but unofficially what we are learning is that 5 passengers have died in this entire incident that has happened in Kathmandu at the international airport. 5 bodies have been recovered from the crash site, and this is the news that we are getting. However, the Nepal police is still to confirm how many casualties have taken place, but 5 bodies have been recovered from the crash site. That is what we know, and one of the pilot is also safe here, and he has been taken to hospital. What we know that the name of this pilot is Manish Shakhya. Manish Shakhya is the name of this pilot who has been rescued, and he has been sent to a local hospital. But 5 bodies have been recovered from the crash site. That is what we are learning, and an official confirmation is still being awaited from the Nepal police. But this is a big accident, and that has taken place. And remember, it's like almost yearly we find and we see that some sort of a aircraft crash takes place in Nepal, in the interior areas neighboring, in fact, Pokhara and in and around. So this is yet another incident that has taken place. But yes, an accident taking place right on the runway at the international airport in Kathmandu is surprising. The weather right now in Kathmandu is very cloudy. It's the monsoon season is going on. But what we know is now 5 bodies have been recovered, and the rescue operation is going on. The rescue team trying to retrieve maybe more bodies, or trying to save and find whether other passengers who were on board, whether they are safe or not. So the rescue operation is going on right now at the Tribhuvan International Airport. The Nepal police, the fire tenders, and the rescue workers are working on the ground zero there to rescue more and more people. Nabila.
All right. So you're saying that at this point, 5 bodies have recovered and there's no signs of life as yet except for that one pilot who's been rescued. He's been rushed to the hospital. Is he in a critical condition?
Yes, his condition is critical, but he has been rushed to the hospital. And you were asking about the make of this aircraft. It's the small aircraft of Saurya Airlines, and the make is, what we are learning is that 9N/AME. It's a Mitsubishi CRJ 200ER aircraft, what we are learning from our sources in Kathmandu. And 19 passengers were on board, including the crew members, and 5 bodies have been retrieved from that crash site. One of the pilot, Manish Shakhya, his condition is critical, but he's alive, and he has been rushed to the nearby hospital. And the rescue operation right now is going on, and the rescue team really trying to figure out whether more passengers have died in this incident, or are there passengers who are still alive. So really trying to find out, and rescue operation is going on at the crash site right now. Nabila.
All right. What has the Nepal government said on this? Has there been any formal statement that's come in? It's tragic that there were 17 passengers and it appears that only one pilot has been rescued so far. It was a passenger plane, is that right? Any word on the make of the plane, Rohit?
Yeah, it was a passenger plane, and it was a small aircraft with 19 passengers, including the crew members on board. And it was airlines of the Saurya. It was a Saurya Airlines. The flight number was 9N/AME, and it was a Mitsubishi made aircraft. That is what we are learning from our sources in Kathmandu. So it was a small aircraft. And the moment it was trying to take off from the airport in Kathmandu at the Tribhuvan International Airport, just as it was trying to take off, it is when this aircraft exploded and caught fire, and immediately the police personnel who were present at the airport, the fire fighters who were present at the airport, they rushed to the crash site and have started the rescue operation. But it's absolutely tragic that incidents after incidents keep on happening in Nepal, especially in the interior areas in and around Pokhara, which is a mountain terrain areas. So, and it's not the first time. Remember, just last year, a Yeti Airlines flight was also crashed, and all the 72 passengers on board had died in that incident. So that incident had happened in last year. In 2023, it was a Yeti Airlines flight with 72 passengers on board, and everyone had died in that incident. And again, in 2016, also there was an incident that happened of Tara Airlines, a small passenger flight. In that also incident, 23 people who were on board, they had died. So it's tragic that small aircraft in Nepal seems to be working in this manner where accidents keep on happening. It's become like a regular feature in Nepal. And in that series today, this airlines of Saurya Airline company has also met with an accident at the international airport in Kathmandu. And there were 19 passengers on board, including pilot and the crew members. And 5 bodies have been retrieved from the crash site. One of the pilot, Manish Shakhya, is reportedly is safe, and his condition, however, is critical. But he is alive, and he has been pulled out from the aircraft, and he has been rushed to the nearby hospital for better treatment. But the rescue operation, as I speak, is going on at the airport. Nabila.
All right. So